So we just arrived here at the area of the tunnel at Sacsayhuamán, where they've been digging down here and actually found it goes 10 feet lower in some parts of the wall. We're here with the head archaeologist. We're going to interview them about what's happening. We're also going to get access to the entrance to the tunnel. These tunnels going through to Cusco and the Coricancha, are they like, is it just one level, or are they multiple levels?
They're multi-levels caves, he said.
So here we are at Sacsayhuamán in Cusco, Peru. And just in this area, in fact, just around the corner there, some recent excavations have been carried out where they've been digging down here and actually found it goes, potentially up to 7 to 10 feet lower in some parts of the wall. And at the base, they found these giant blocks all along the edge of all the wall that they checked. So there seems to be some kind of, almost like, they're like benches, almost giant benches, which would possibly like stabilize the wall, but they could have some other purpose. And now, within the next few months, we're going to get some actual dating because they've taken samples from it. A whole team that have been working here, and we might get some actual dating of this site, because officially this dates to 1400 AD or thereabouts, which is just a few years before the Spanish arrived. Although the traditions of the Inca say quite different, that these were built by a race of giants in prehistory. But as you can see, the magnificence and scale of these walls is quite different to what we find in other Inca construction, even at this site. And we'll see some examples of the differences as we go round. So here we are at Sacsayhuamán, which is one of the most magnificent sites in all of Peru. It has remarkable megalithic construction. There's clearly 3 different types of stone here, and this is limestone primarily, comes from a local quarry quite nearby, although some were bought from several miles away. But this isn't andesite, this isn't basalt, this isn't what a lot of people think. It's genuinely really high quality limestone, and the shaping of it is quite remarkable. There's the work of Derek Cunningham, which I've been speaking to one of our guests, Neil, about, and he's been telling me that all the different angles, whether it's from a north angle or a horizontal angle like this, actually reveals information about the moon, the sun, the difference between the earth and the sun, and things like this in between all the different angles. And it's all been worked out. It's almost like a code within the site itself. He's also found this in the polygonal walls in Egypt. It's been seen on the polygonal walls in Turkey. And so it's not just here we find these kind of potential codes. There's something much more profound going on with these sites than people realize. So behind me is one of the most interesting stones at the site, one of the largest as well. Estimates put this at like 150 tons. But you can see all the different angles on here that go round really beautifully. And you can see now the sun's come out, you can see massive striations going on all these different stones. It's really quite something. When you get the sun angle on, but the sun right above, it's like midday. Yeah, this is really quite something. Look at the shaping on these. These are just remarkable. Just makes you wonder how they could have done this. So check this out. This is one of the most famous ones. It's almost got like a flower of leaves going around the main megalithic block here. And this is where it starts to get really big as well. We get really unusual, really heavily shaped stones. And look at these corners here. Look at the way that all the little detail that joins up. Is really quite something. And this I think, is that even bedrock? That could be bedrock they just built on there. So here we have like what looks like a water channel, really big one coming out there. Steps coming down here. Fascinating. So we just arrived here at the area of the tunnel at Sacsayhuamán. Brand new excavation, part of the Chinkana project. We're here with the head archaeologists. There's 2 or 3 of them. We're going to interview them about what's happening, the bigger picture. We're also going to get access to the entrance to the tunnel. Now, you can't film right inside it, but I'll describe to you what's there. But you can film into it a certain way. It only goes a bit further than that anyway at the moment because there's so much rubble. There appears to be different levels as well. We must remember that there's more entrances, 13 entrances in this whole area, and 3 known tunnels we're dealing with here, so it's pretty astonishing. How did you find out about the entrance to the tunnels here?
A la entrada de la Chincana Sacsayhuamán. Hace 27 años.
27 years ago, I found the entrance to Sacsayhuamán here, he say.
And what do you know, I mean, with the old traditions and the legends of these tunnels going through to Cusco and the Coricancha, did you follow the stories from the old legends, the Spanish stories, or was it a more scientific approach?
3 things.
Uno, documentos
1, documents
del siglo XVI, XVII y XVIII.
from the 16th, 17th, and 18th. Later, the experimentation in archaeology.
Se le ha pedido que haga un trazo de un túnel
To one
desde
engineer,
este punto hasta el Coricancha.
I asked to make a way from here, from this point to Coricancha, and then the possibilities of the constructions from the past, and now they are really similar.
Básicamente por los desniveles.
Basically, because we have different levels. And the other point is we did many interviews to many people.
Por ejemplo, unos trabajadores
For example, workers,
se cayeron a un túnel
they fall out on the tunnels
en el sector de San Cristóbal.
in the sector of San Cristobal.
Entonces estaban trabajando y se cayeron.
They've been working and they fell out.
Deportiva, de
And
cemento.
those people, when they fall out, they were scary and they put a field of soccer field on the top of one of the tunnels in Cusco. And the project, Chinkana, basically has also information of geodesic information around here. And in the beginning, this geophysics information, in the beginning we didn't have money.
Hace 27 años
27 years ago,
teníamos unas láminas de metal
we got a gold metals,
gruesas.
wires.
Entonces las poníamos en el piso
We used to put on the ground.
y con una comba, un golpe.
With a hammer, we used to put ground.
Entonces escuchábamos el sonido
And then we heard the sound.
Yes.
And they hear it was a holes inside. Hollow, yes, inside.
íbamos marcando.
And we were marking, checking. And then we got a georadar because it was a donation.
Entonces con el georradar hemos corroborado
With the georadar, we found that it was real.
hemos corroborado los datos históricos,
The historical dates,
los datos de arqueología experimental
the archaeological experimentations,
y luego también las pruebas sísmicas.
and then the seismic proofs.
Yeah. Are the tunnels blocked? Are they all blocked up? And are they going to clear them out to see what's in there?
Ahorita ya tenemos uno abierto en Uyujmar, que hemos abierto nosotros.
Now we had one tunnel that is open in the upper part of Sacsayhuamán.
Y aquí me falta 3 metros para entrar a otro túnel.
And here I have to excavate 3 more meters of tunnel to go inside of the real tunnel. 3
Ahora,
more meters.
es una red de túneles.
And it's a red of tunnels. It's the temple of Mother Earth or Pachamama.
And you say there's more than one tunnel. So there's near here, there's one main entrance. And then does it go off in different directions, different tunnels?
Son 13 entradas.
There are 13 entrances.
Y solo he atacado 3.
And yes, I am attacking just 3, he said.
Pero no me han dejado terminar.
They don't finish me.
Lo que quería contarles es que también hemos hecho tomografía eléctrica.
They did an electric tomography also, he said.
Entonces, esta tomografía eléctrica se pone fierros,
He put the
yodos, en el piso.
electric tomography, they put yodo metals on the ground,
Entonces, te da un dibujo triangular.
and then we got a drawn like triangular shape.
Entonces, si has puesto los fierros o los tubos 120 metros de largo,
And if you
te da
put the,
40 metros de profundidad.
and when we put all of these metals, he said we got 40 meters of this side. Yes,
La tercera parte,
the third part, he said,
What, an underground level?
under the ground
de
level,
adentro.
Yes,
O sea,
inside,
si
under
son
the ground.
120 metros,
If there are 120 meters, I have to go 40 meters inside, he said.
entonces hay noticias.
And there are news.
Hay una recámara aquí,
There is a room inside this rock,
a 15 metros de
under
profundidad.
50 meters deep.
Tiene un ancho aproximado de 50 metros.
It's 50 meters wider.
Hay otra recámara allá,
And there is another room inside the earth over there.
en esas piedras.
Under these rocks
Hay una recámara ahí de 18 metros por
of 18 meters per 18 meters wider, is 18 meters side.
Remarkable.
Entonces, el próximo año promete dar mucha adrenalina.
Oh, the next year there is a promise will be lots of adrenaline around here. And this is a project made by indigenous people, he said.
O sea, todos somos indígenas.
He said all of us, we are indigenous, he
La
said.
doctora Mildred también es indígena.
There is another doctor, an archaeological called Mildred Fernandez. She's also indigenous. And this is the only project in the whole Peru joined by indigenous. And this is between the respect between people of the world. Generally comes from different places of the world,
Y él es el que manda en el proyecto.
and he is the
peruano.
person to lead and then where we are
Es el Palacio de Huayna
is the palace of Huayna Capac.
Les presento a la doctora Mildred.
She's the Mildred Fernandez. She's the other
Hello.
doctora. She's another main archaeologist.
Y este es el Palacio de Huayna
This is the main palace of Huayna Capac.
Y Huayna hizo por amor la Chincana,
And Huayna Capac king, he did for love this project
a su esposa.
to her wife.
Entonces, el Inca es hijo del sol.
And then the Inca is son of the sun,
Y
child sun.
representa al sol.
and is representing the sun. It's like the pharaohs, no, in Egypt.
Y la esposa representa a Pachamama.
And the wife is representing Mother of Pachamama.
Entonces, la unión de los dos
And then the meeting of these two
fertiliza el mundo.
fertilize the world. And it's not casual that Coricancha down in the bottom is a masculine temple,
Porque ahí vivía Punchao.
because over there we're living Punchao. I told you yesterday is the baby sun. It's a
Dentro-
little statue of 80 centimeters of high.
Dentro de esta estatua
And inside of this golden
estaban los
statue,
corazones y los hígados de los incas.
it was the hearts of the kidneys of the Incas burned. It's the ashes of the Incas. It was under this statue.
Entonces, esa estatua, ese dios era traído desde el Coricancha hasta aquí,
And this god was taken from Coricancha to here
fertilizando la tierra.
to fertilize the earth.
Porque si los 4 fundadores del Tahuantinsuyo
They were 4 founders of this
salieron de
Tahuantinsuyo.
cuevas,
They come from caves.
son hijos del sol,
They are childs of the sun.
¿quién es la madre?
Who is the mother?
Pachamama.
Pachamama.
Entonces, las cuevas, ¿qué vienen a hacer?
And the caves, what are they?
Las vaginas y los úteros.
The vaginas of the earth.
Para
The
nosotros
úteros
se
of the
llama pacarina.
For us, it's called pacarina. Pacarina. Paca o pacarina.
Pacarina. Cuando Huiracocha creó a los hombres,
When Huiracocha, he created the mans, the humans,
salgan los hombres,
he said, comes up the mans.
y nosotros salimos de las cuevas.
And then we comes from the caves.
I've got a question. Are there underground structures here or just mainly tunnel structures?
Hay recámaras.
There are lots of rooms, cameras inside of Sacsayhuamán.
Are they like, is it just one level or are they multiple levels?
Here, he said,
En el templo de Pachamama
in the temple of Madre,
hay una cueva,
there is a cave.
debajo otra cueva,
Under there is another cave.
y luego hay una cueva.
And then there is another cave under. There are multi-levels caves, he said, in English.
Es bien interesante.
And it's really good. It's
Nosotros solo hemos
interesting.
entrado a la primera y a la segunda.
We were only to the first level and second level.
Falta entrar a la tercera.
We are looking also for go to the third level, he said.
And with the tunnels themselves, does he believe they stretch across the whole kind of this part of Peru, or is it more localized at Sacsayhuamán?
Buscadas por 500 años.
The Chincanas or the big caves, the ancient explorers, they are searching for that for 500 years.
Casi nadie tuvo suerte.
In these 500 years, nobody was lucky with that. No
Y
one.
ahora en los tiempos modernos nosotros hemos tenido suerte,
And now in these modern times, we are lucky. He said.
pero no es suerte,
But it's not luck.
sino que el pensamiento indígena entiende las cosas de los indígenas.
And he said the indigenous thought understand the indigenous thoughts, he said.
Entonces, cuando en la mente de la gente de Occidente
When
cree que un templo es todo trabajado, todo es forjado,
in the mind of the Occidental, he believe he say everything. They believe everything has carved and perfect.
para el mundo andino
But in the Andean world,
la naturaleza es magia.
the nature is magical. This rock, so you are watching around here,
Este hundimiento es el ojo de un gran águila,
this big hole around here is the eye of one eagle.
pero geológicamente había ese hueco antes del hombre.
Geologically, it was a hole here around here. They were trying to fix it, the face of the eagle around here. They saw to this place it was a kind of the crest of the eagle, and they saw over there it was the eye of the eagle. That's why they fixed it according to the nature.
Have you got any dating evidence that goes back earlier than the Inca?
When we have documents from the 16th century and 17th
Que
century,
describen cómo fue construido.
and they describe how these places they were made.
Está cómo han hecho las rampas, cómo han hecho el tallado y todo. para los
In
grandes
the
edificios.
documents they mention how they were made the ramps, how they were made the things.
Otros hablan de una civilización originaria,
On other people they talk about the original civilization,
como Lemuria,
like
Atlántida,
Lemuria, Atlántida,
pero eso es mentira.
but this is lie.
Nosotros hemos excavado aquí y hemos encontrado en el piso la arena de lo que ha caído, de lo que han golpeado la piedra. Está la arena.
Yeah, we were making excavation and we found the sand when they were carving and using on the rock, he said.
Está ahí en el piso.
It is
Ahí.
underground, he said.
Entonces, y también hemos encontrado todo el proceso de cantería.
And also we found all the process of cantery
Las
of the
canteras
ancient
están
times. The quarries are around there and there.
junto con piedras, estas piedras,
Bueno.
pedacitos de piedra.
When we did an excavation, we found also skulls, human skulls, and also we found little pieces of stones on the ground.
En el cementerio, ¿qué?
And the cemetery, they are now is something new. It's news. They are doing excavation. They found human bones over there. In the skulls, there are the holes and also stones, like to say, "Look, Father Huiracocha, I did these temples." Here on the cemetery,
Hemos excavado a 3 metros.
we dig excavation 3 meters under the
Y
ground.
salió un fragmento de Wari
We found a pre-Inca civilization called Wari
que tiene 700 a 900 después de Cristo.
to have 900 BC.
Okay.
Ahora,
That's
en
interesting.
el cementerio
Now
hay
in the
un piso
cemetery,
blanco.
there is a white cemetery,
Es un piso blanco. Y debajo de ese piso hemos encontrado otro piso.
and under this white floor we found another field,
Debajo de ese piso.
field,
Otro piso.
another level.
Yeah.
En otro nivel
Even deeper.
del piso
Even deeper.
hemos encontrado fragmentos quilque.
We
del
found
año 1100 después de Cristo.
we found little pieces of pottery from the culture or from the pre-Inca culture called Quilque.
What dates is that?
It's
1100
1,000.
después de Cristo.
1,100 years AC.
BC.
Sorry, yes,
Okay.
BC.
So that's slightly older than the Wari.
Yes.
Yeah.
In 8 months more, we will know a more contundent answer. He's trying to mention, so he will date using the minerals because they were under the ground. We know very well when the minerals are on the top, we know because it's receiving the sun, but when they are under the ground, so we will use that technique today. How old is this place?
Yeah.
Entonces eso nos va a dar una datación muy exacta.
And this is going to give us a date, a more exactly date of this place.
Entonces esperemos 8 meses.
Wait 8 months.
Han esperado 500 años, 8 no es nada.
We were waiting 500 years and 8 months is nothing.
Quería preguntar, todavía no sabemos si la Chincana es solo Inca.
First of all, we are not able to say if the Chinkana is only Inca, he said. The tunnel. They
Eso lo
understand
vamos a
Chincanas
saber
already.
de acá 8 años.
We will know really clearly in 8 years.
Tenemos que hacer una serie de análisis.
We have to make more investigations to know is this only Inca.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. Yes. Gracias. Yeah. That's good.
So literally behind me, this is the entrance to the underworld. You can see there's almost like a kind of carved out first part of the tunnel here. So what you're seeing behind me is probably part of the tunnel. You can see the shape, how it kind of tapers inwards at the, going down to like a trapezoid shape, but without the top part. That is the same shape as the tunnel inside as well. And so, remarkable experience to see this in person. So here we are, just at the entrance to the tunnels of Sacsayhuamán, the newly discovered tunnel that stretches all the way from here at the Sacsayhuamán, so all the way down to the Coricancha. You can see it slopes down, there's lots of rubble in the way, and we're just next to the main circular plaza where there's a whole huge amount of rocky outcrops, and we have the upside down stairs, it's just below that. And so this goes all the way to Cusco. It's over a mile long to the Coricancha, about 5 foot tall, trapezoid shape. And here we are. We're actually being given permission by the archaeologists to actually come in and have a quick look. And we can't go all the way in. We need hard hats. We're waiting for them. But you can see, this is it. This proves that there are tunnels under the ground here in ancient Cusco and the surrounding area.
They're looking towards finding some kind of dating evidence. They clearly were used by the Inca. Whether they go back much further is currently under investigation. But these are seen as entrances into the underworld, the lower world that existed within Pachamama, within Mother Earth itself. And these go for miles. They go probably beyond even the Coricancha. Apparently there are 13 different entrances. They're on multiple levels, and also there is actually constructed chambers down there, and these are currently now being excavated, and we're going to get exciting news within the next few months, but we won't know the full story for a matter of years, possibly we're told 8. So it's a very, very exciting prospect. And as the archaeologist has said himself, what they find here is going to affect the world of archaeology. Okay, right, just come out of the caves here at Sacsayhuamán. The archaeologist has shown us what's down there. Now he says that the walls are actually carved. They found various ceramics down there. They've also found various stone tools, which they think are Inca, but they cannot be certain as yet. They've not found any animals, like snakes or birds or something like that, but they expect to find them. He also showed me that there's a second entrance going down to a deeper level, but unfortunately at the moment that is full of water. So access is very, very difficult. But it's incredible because obviously for the Incas and obviously presumably the peoples before that, this was seen as an entrance into the underworld, just like what we have at Giza, just like the cave underworld that we found in 2008. we're talking about exactly the same type of practices. The lower world, the middle world in which we live, and the upper world up there. And we've just come out of the underworld.
So we just come out of the tunnel. It's blown my mind just to have this access, this private access visit with our group. Several of our group, JJ and Andrew as well, got in there. And what we're seeing is as you go down, it's flooded with water now. So there's a lower level, but as you look up, and it goes further back and then takes a left turn, there's giant blocks. That would have made up the walls of the trapezoid-shaped tunnel. Now, in the 3D images and the scanning they've done, it looks very neat and tidy, but actually it's very rough. There's lots of rubble, things have collapsed, so they don't even know how far they're going to get. But just to go inside there and get a sense of what it's really like into these possible hundreds of miles in this whole landscape of tunnels is amazing. And so it's a real privilege. I've got to thank Rumi, I've got to thank the Cusco native crew for giving us access like this. It's really, really blown our minds. And now we're going to come back every year and we're going to find out as it develops, as more funding is given, as more excavation is done. They found levels here in this part of Sacsayhuamán that go back to 900 BC. This is the Wari culture. But they've also found pottery that goes back to at least 1100 to 1200 BC. And so this could date the whole site. This could put it into like the Bronze Age, Iron Age era. And this means it's pre-Inca technically. So very interesting, you know, to have this access. And some of the group are going in there, having a look. Amazing. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this visit inside and underground Sacsayhuamán. And we'll see you next time, Megalithomaniacs.